Do another alien video maybe tomorrow. Not sure yet. Priscilla showed up. Yeah, I might do it. If I have time, I'll do it. I try to just get one out once a week, possibly. But they need to say, it's Priscilla, here she is. Kind of hit or miss on those, if it gets any attention or not. It can't always be funny either, because I'm trying to put kind of a message in there. So kind of a quick download, you can say. My good reptilians watching us, so I don't have to get paranoid about that if I could go crazy thinking about that. Lose your freaking mind. We're always being monitored because we're crazy. It's kind of like, it's like us watching fish. They're just wandering around out there. It's like, what the hell are they doing? They always do the same. They look at us like, what the fuck's our problem? It's probably not that much different. Some people understand us. Some aliens understand us. All like look at us like they're out of their fucking minds, and they call it normal. I don't remember the title of this. I don't think I wrote it down either. Nope. Oh yeah, Spiritual Society. Yeah. Yeah, so we're going into, yeah, of course with disclosure, you never know what that's gonna, I mean, this is disclosure, is the very closest we're gonna get with it. Of course, yeah, the Superman movie is out. I guess there's some disclosure in that, and I might go see that possibly, I don't know. See how it goes. Go there and fall asleep during it. Of course, I saw Megalopolis last year, and that was a terrible movie. That was hilarious. That was so bad. I mean, yeah, it's so bad it's good. It's good to torture people with that one. Yeah, multiple realities, a different version of New York City, and so on. Yeah, with it's oh yeah, the Epstein stuff is going on. I guess I could have put that in the title. I'll think about that tomorrow, if I even make one of these tomorrow. Epstein's thing is kind of, I guess we're going after Trump on that one, and we'll see how far that goes. We'll see. Yeah, it's kind of like the JFK situation. It's like, they might be forced to say something about it. Well, they have to cool people down on it. They're not going to let it up either, so. Well, it's also another thing they cause chaos, too. It's another distraction, so. They love distractions, so. And it's a new, and it keeps Trump's name in the headlines. Love him or hate him, doesn't really matter. So just more drama. So we'll see. I think it's Maxwell. The Maxwell lady might do a testify if she survives, or they just clone her, or whatever it might be. I don't know. Will they actually do that? They might. If they do, it'd be. I feel like a lot of it would be watered down. They're not gonna give you the full. They're not gonna give you the full story, of course. So we'll see. Doesn't really matter. But of course, yeah, connections to the fourth dimension, fifth dimension. Yeah, it's always going to be a tug of war there. Priscilla's here, and she's taking all the attention. And she was like nowhere to be found earlier. And now here she is. wanting attention. So yeah, the other thing is the canine energies. I mean, that says. I mean, I mentioned this before, but it does go into, you see how dogs are manipulated and humans are manipulated. Seem very similar. They're mind control. I mean, they're pretty much like another version of us. So just with 4 legs. Of course, some people act like they're on 4 legs. So anyway, just about all they have to go work. Well, they do work, just not like us. But it's, like our connections is serious. Really is what the dogs go through too. You see all the inbreeding and everything. Like I say, mind control, disease, whatever it is. They die of crazy things just like humans do. Just out of nowhere. Some can live forever, some don't. And cats are kind of like outside of that. They don't have. Because you talked about a cat, it's like just look at it, just walk away. So it's just a dog is probably the closest thing you come to a human. Unless I don't know how pigs are. Maybe pigs are the same thing. I seriously doubt it. They're just gonna there to eat you basically if they're hungry enough. Which is very yeah, that's nice. Of course, dogs can be that way too, I guess. At least on psychopathic. Of course, that's once again to the human if they're poisoned. So it really is, 'cause our connections is serious. Really, I mean, it just shows like a canine world could be, you know, invaded by Orion beings or psychopaths, and just put through like what we've been put through. So at least give some insight to why we're, how hard it is to come out of this too. There is some sympathy coming from the canines of what we're going through, but it goes back to Atlantis too. Atlantis, I feel, came from Sirius. Everybody's different on that probably, but it has a lot of Sirian connections there, and obviously they have a lot of issues there. And of course, you can't really, prove any of it, not physically. So, either way. But yeah, of course, even Sirius as a dog star, so gives you more indication of the canine energies, and you just look at our society, it's not, and yeah, a lot of it was seated in the Middle East. Other places was mostly the Middle East, is what I'm gathering. So that's one of the places. Yeah, one of the main ones at least, because that's why we're always. Of course, it feels like it's more Middle East than it is. At least the early stages of human development, or human wars, or whatever you call it. So, yeah. Anyway. Shit, I'm not ready. I was ready for this. Guess not. Alright, so connect to somebody in a second. I don't know who. Just this is Avatar comment private sessions. Scheduler. Shop here. Yeah, it's been kind of a long day. Yeah, it's come to my attention. It's the third dimensional people that can evolve. It's easier just to be in fear and selfish for some. Like vicious for no reason, like out to attack, for whatever reason. And then they, it's like they protect some of them become, manipulators. Maybe they don't even know it due to their past traumas. And it's interesting how, at least I've noticed recently, I haven't really been shown this before. Not like this. I haven't been, like how the time, because like a person has I don't know if I talked about this yesterday. As like you come to a fork in the road, like you can evolve and heal your traumas. it's not perfect. I would say spiritual community is not perfect, but you become a little bit more aware of yourself and things, and then you don't have to go through certain trials, go through others, of course, but or you can just be a scumbag and manipulate people, live in fear, have two kids from different parents or different people, and just be angry forever. You can always do that. you know, that's what the higher self wants you to go, or the life of fear, and live in bitterness forever, and maybe never see the light of day. Always on the protection side, and then when you're in your late 40s, 50s, just think about when you're in your 20s until you're dead. It's like, jeez. Yeah, but once you like the awakening fork in the road, like you ignore it. I don't know if they get later ones in life. Some do, some don't. Some is like don't even bother. It's like you're gonna be dragged through the mud. You saw that other person that tried to bring you some insight, and they got trashed left and right. You want to go through that? It's like, fuck no. So they just stay in their little cubicle of hell, and not everybody, but some become like just disgusting, and just where does that go exactly? Nowhere. Just your soul. I think the energy that it gets smaller and smaller. Like they might act like they're huge and a big deal, but they really kind of get smaller as a soul, if that makes any sense. Because you're living in fear, and you're a scumbag to everybody, at some level, selfish and whatever, and just instead of growing, you descend, and you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So. And excuses and excuses and excuses, and you bring like your enlightenment, right? And you're seen as the devil, and you're like not doing any of that. But if you're seen as the devil and you're not doing anything devilish, you're not even talking about the devil. And a person says like you're pure evil and all that. It's like whatever. That's just I think some souls either they just wander like that forever, just never going anywhere, no matter how many times they incarnate, wherever it is. Yeah, turn to a succubus energy, like a mountain of excuses. So, whatever. Anyway, so going to. Feels like serious, maybe go into some of the canine stuff, give a little bit of insight. Obviously, we don't get the full picture of it. If we had the full picture, I think we'd probably all just be kind of angry. I think some people are already angry as it is. Always at the human race, right? I think there's enough. I think a lot is kept away from us because it make you more tired of everything. You have to have some kind of get you through this, right? Because you see, just sometimes the less you know, the better. You just plow through. It's like you have an inner knowing, but you don't need to know. Because like if you know, it's like, a few people, we're out of here. So, it's like going to a jungle and knowing like every disease, knowing the man that's in there. It's like, what the fuck am I going in there for? Then you go into nature and not worry about it. It's kind of like that. It's like everything in there can probably kill you, but you can make it. Go into the jungle, you might have some awareness of what's there, but you still go in there anyway, right? It's kind of like that. That's life. Life is the jungle. Just don't think about it, just do it. And just trust your instincts, and that's all you could do. Don't worry about just, I mean, you're gonna worry about something. That's normal, but it's good to have caution and all that. But it's the adventure, right? And that might be the best way of thinking about, you know, what life is, because it is a jungle. Life, and no matter where you're at, it's a jungle, right? And you don't need to know everything about everything in there. Of course, there are probably some people that do. There's like, let's stay the hell away from that shit. But we're here in this succubus planet. Of course, it's a little bit. It has good there, of course. Yeah, you're just gonna steer through it all, and what do you get from it? So, yeah, we're always learning something, and we're just not aware of it. And yeah, just fuck. Anyway, okay, all right. Yeah, like there's like you feel like there's a like you're moving through life, but you feel like things are kind of slowed down. It depends on the situation. Sometimes you're like analyzing on an energetic level a situation possibly, or just everyone just slows down there. I think also part of it, you're learning from your current environment. It's kind of like being a parked car at a stoplight, right? It's like, okay, this is where humanity is right now, and where are you getting? Like you're doing something, you know, while you're out waiting. I guess it's another way of looking at it. But then you feel the heat or the cold, or you feel the frequencies. You're always getting something out of this. You don't need to know it all, but you're always getting something out of this environment, even if it's mundane. So okay, all right, going to Syrian energies and see what they have to say. Blessings. Greece uses yes, serious consciousness, fifth dimension. The canines are like a symbol of yourselves, and there is the Syrians have the canines have gratitude that you are here to go through this, as you can say this world's other people's garbage. You can say, well, just put it out there. It is almost like a cancerous frequency that's in your world, as you know. Not all of life, but there is a cancerous frequency of taking away of life experiences, to take away life. Life should be more fulfilling and filled with love and adventure, instead of it was more. I mean, there is that's here, but also feels like your soul is being sucked out to some level, just to some of you can see that, or is a hidden war here. There is a cancerous frequency here, and that's the beings of selfishness. Not all of them are reptilian, but some of them are. They just want to like control humanity. Yes, it's like a game. They basically like kind of like the gods are beings, like something out of a cartoon, that they play with society, but also society fights back. So as you can see, don't feel like you've lost your power or anything, but as you can see, you're trying to manifest through life. It is similar to, there are some similarities to the ancient Greek god mythology. They are, some are very compassionate and others are not, that are controlling your world. There's a lot of, even that was technically a disclosure energy. Now you can go an area of the world where these guys are not messing with reality. Of course, it can be very dull there at the same time. You can become a farmer somewhere. Of course, even there they kind of mess with it. But there are places in the world where it's not so dense. But where the denseness is where the war is. And it's also freeing yourself from this world too, and helping others get through this at the same time. Because you're all in this together to, bring some kind of enlightenment to yourselves and others, and just, yes, it it's kind of like, kind of like fishing to some level, but also it's like fish going to another pond that is a little bit safer, less violent, less manipulated. Like this world is not fully polluted, but there's a lot of that here. It's basically finding cleaner waters, but also, you know, before you leave, you know, you can be pulled back. It's like, oh wait a minute, you don't want to just jump out of here and not learn anything. It's like, get your ass back here, because you don't want to just jump out of this reality and not learn anything. The idea is to. That's why you stay here for a little bit longer, or a lot longer. Is for what you're because the idea is to not have to go through this again. And many feel the pinch of this reality. As you can see, it's like, just give me a door and I'll get out of here. Call in the spaceships. Let's move. But a lot of it is just stay here. It's like the Old West. You're here to fight the fight. That's everyday life, basically. Surviving the manipulations of everyday uncertainty. And there were simpler times back in the day. Now things are a lot more complicated. Yes, social media, you can shut it off if you want, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like the town folks. You hear the nonsense that's out there, instead of just live out in the country, away from it all, which would be nice. But you're here for a reason to. Now you can shut off all that social. Every once in a while, I might run into it. And it is the village's voice, for sure. Good or bad, it's what it is. It's like living in a small town, but you're on a world platform. But it's kind of like you're still living in a small town technically, because you are hearing the voice of the people, even if they're coming from another part of the world. I think you understand it. And there's some other places that are more isolated, because they don't want to be part of everyone else's nonsense, like China. China's like, yes, we have our own problems, but we don't want to deal with all your crap. Like, yeah, we have enough crap, and there is some decency there. It's not all completely lost. It is. Some of them are living happier lives than anyone else, actually. They're not being bothered. Those that aren't being bothered by it. Yes, there's a certain restriction there of human rights, but if you don't cross the line, you're actually treated quite decently. You can be, and that can be other places there. All depends, right? Of course, says the food is being manipulated, at least in Americas, and that's also to keep the population down. But also, it's also part of like a wake up call of the world that you're in currently. And yes, the World War II manipulation is still here in some parts of the world, especially in the U.S. The food was healthier back in the day before World War II, and then things got drastically worse because you're kind of an incubator of manipulation. Of course, it's difficult to heal that, but it's also part of disclosure, not to be a victim of it, but also just sort of says we'll get what we can out of this world and help each other through it. Eventually, we all disclose at some point. As the world gets smaller, basically populations get smaller, the villains of this world they get bored because no one here to mess with anymore, because everyone's left the planet. No one wants to incarnate in here anymore. And those that do are so complete. They're NPC people. Those aren't fun if you don't have people to mess with, use them against. They're just doing whatever they're being told and going by the narrative. That's not much fun. If you can't cause chaotic energies everywhere, most of the people are not incarnating here anymore. That can be manipulated. So even a lot of the elites will leave here at some point. Not that you need to wait for that. But this is the battle of the soul. And this is you wonder about wealth and all that. Like the soul is like priceless. Your energy, who you are, even if you're lost, it doesn't matter. You're still, your life force is priceless and worth everything. It's everything, even if you don't feel like it is. So, and that idea is to kind of protect it through all this as it was throwing everything at you. So, this is.